Welcome back to War of the Lesbian Zombies. In the last scene, Jill and Betsy arrived at the ranch. Donna left for a flight to Rhodes and a rendezvous with Admiral Kincaid.
Caroline and Betsy were coloring pictures. Caroline was coloring inside the lines, but Betsy was scribbling everywhere on the page. Frustration and anger drove her to rip it up. "I can't do it! I can't do it!" She broke a crayon in two and threw the pieces across the room. Lily brought each of them a glass of Kool-Aid. The girls took a break. When Betsy's glass was empty, she picked up another crayon and colored a new picture. But this time, she colored inside the lines and even wrote her name at the bottom. "Look, I did it!" Curly Dog barked, tail wagging. "She wants to go outside and play chase the ball." As the two girls ran down the stairs, Betsy tripped and tumbled down the staircase. Jill ran to the steps, praying Betsy was okay. She knelt beside her daughter. "Honey, are you hurt?" Betsy got up as if nothing had happened. "Look, Mommy, I colored the picture and even wrote my name." Jill took the picture. Betsy has never been able to write her name. The girls ran outside. Jill realized none of the women had come over to see if Betsy was okay. She slowly turned around and saw everyone staring at her. What the hell just happened? You mean 1 minute Betsy is a beautiful little girl with autism, and the next minute she's a perfectly normal 9-year-old? Did you people drug my daughter? Put something in the Kool-Aid? No, Jill. It wasn't a drug. It was a virus. A very special virus. Jill's expression was stupefied horror. Are you out of your mind? No, but I do know what's on your mind. I know you tested positive for uterine cancer. Your biggest fear is not knowing who will take care of Betsy if you die. You tell people you were married and that Betsy's father died. But the truth is, your pregnancy came after a violent date rape. What's his name? Jerry Henderson, the deadbeat? That's right, Jerry Henderson, the deadbeat. He left because he couldn't handle a special needs child. Blamed you, didn't he? You had me investigated? How dare you people invade my privacy? No, Jill, I can read your mind. We know everything about you. I don't believe it. I'm taking my daughter and getting the hell out of here. If you try to stop me, I'll call the police. Nobody's going to stop you. But before you go, ask yourself how Betsy colored that picture like any other little girl. Jill tore up the picture. Caroline did this. It's a cruel joke. She's like all the other kids. How do you explain her falling down the stairs and not suffering a single bump or bruise? It takes a little while for bruises to show. Jill stormed to the front door. Betsy, come on, honey. We're going home now. Can I come back tomorrow and play with Caroline again? No, we're never coming back here. Brenda knelt to Betsy. Honey, after your mommy sees the change in you, I'm sure she'll bring you back soon. Brenda looked at Jill. We're having pizza tomorrow night. New London without onions. Isn't that your favorite? Jill glared at Brenda in total disbelief. Take Betsy to class tomorrow. You'll be surprised at how well she does. Impossible. My students far excel her abilities. It'll only make her more angry at the world. She rushed Betsy to the Mercedes where Jorge opened the door. Betsy got in the back seat and Jorge buckled her up. That's a nice-looking coloring book you have there. It's a present from my new best friend Caroline. Jill sat up front and questioned Jorge all the way back home, but she didn't get any information about Brenda and the other women. You need to live with them to understand them. He parked in front of her house. That's when Jill realized Betsy hadn't said a word the entire ride, but she'd colored another picture, inside the lines, perfectly. What's happened to my daughter? She drank the Kool-Aid. Do not question good fortune, Miss Jill. Be grateful for your blessings. The sisters were goofing off, drinking, and flipping cable TV channels. Let's watch the Dr. Bill show. Bill walked out on stage to roaring applause. On today's show, we have former Senator James Hoffman. He claims lesbian zombies are taking over the world. JL Flight 2410 from Athens to Rhodes has crashed in the Aegean Sea. It appears there are no survivors. Oh no, Donna was on that plane. I hope to God it's not. Monica ran out the door. Brenda! Brenda! She found her and Caroline playing Go Get the Ball with Girly Dog. Brenda, please don't tell me Donna was on JAL 2410. Yes, she was. What's the matter? The plane crashed. They don't think there are any survivors. She can't be dead. They ran to the house, praying to Loa. Save our sweet Donna. Please, please don't let her be dead. Donna found herself floating in water, her body coated with slimy jet fuel. Surrounded by feasting sharks, she spit and coughed. What the hell happened? The tail of a plane teetered and dipped on the waves. The damn plane crashed. What kind of shit is this? She looked around, hoping to see other survivors nearby. Hello? Anyone there? The dead did not answer. The water was cold enough for hypothermia to set in, if she were a normal human. But she was a lesbian zombie, infallible to even plane crashes. In some ways, she was already dead, but in others, she had more life in her than all of civilization. How the hell am I going to get out of this mess? She was floating on her back when her head hit a chunk of debris. Reaching up to a torn section of wing, she tried to pull herself up, but the slime of the jet fuel caused her to slip back into the sea. It was then that she realized a blonde woman was lying face up on the wing. Hey, are you dead? Nothing. Hey, you, on the wing! Help me! Her head turned, then her eyes popped open wide. Oh my God, another survivor! I can't get up there, I keep slipping. Take off your clothes. Huh? They're soaked in jet fuel. That's why you keep slipping. Donna wriggled out of her dress. Welcome aboard. A second later, they were both on the wing. Hi, I'm Donna. I'm Carrie. I was a flight attendant. I don't know why I'm still alive. I remember you now. You served me a drink in first class. I didn't recognize you with your clothes off. This was my first flight on JAL. I worked on a private jet before this, for Coma Limited. Funny story that one is, and long. I'm not going anywhere. They both laughed. There was this gorgeous redhead client. My God, just thinking of her takes my breath away. She was my first lesbian experience on a long flight from Haiti to New York. Brenda? I haven't been the same since. You made it with Brenda Ayler? You know her? Donna laughed out loud. What's so funny? You and me, Carrie, we are sisters. You're a lesbian zombie just like me. Carrie felt for a heartbeat. I'm a zombie? That's why you survived the crash. Brenda made you a member of our sisterhood. Loa must have meant for us to meet on this flight. Who's Loa? The lesbian goddess of the universe. Carrie looked around the watery desert as more sharks cruised in to feed on the dead. This Loa of yours has a morbid way of introducing people. Dark clouds were creeping in from the west. A big wave hit the wing and it started to sink. Can lesbian zombies drown? I'm more worried about those sharks. We're gonna die. They clung to each other. At least we'll go down together. They looked up. A machine gun laid down a spray of bullets, scattering the sharks. We're going to be rescued. Hold tight, ladies. You're now under the protection of the United States Navy. The wave-battered wing bucked Donna into the water. A frogman dropped in from the chopper, swam up behind her, and slipped a safety harness around her. We got you, ma'am. Thank you, sailor. The cable hook swung in, and he clipped it to the rigging. All set. As the cable lifted her out of the water and up toward the helicopter, he saw that she too was as naked as the woman on the wing. My God, these poor women. They've been through hell. But I don't see a scratch on them. Now he turned his attention to the woman on the wing. It looked like she was sinking, so he decided to hang on to the flap and hope the gunner above could keep the sharks at bay. Hang on, ma'am. We'll have you out of here in a minute. I was a flight attendant on the plane. I'm Carrie Carson. Sorry, I lost my uniform. Air's First Class Frank Leatherwood at your service. She looked down at him and knew he was genuinely concerned about her safety and not the least bit lustful over her nakedness. A true gentleman. What's an airs, Frank? Aviation rescue swimmer, ma'am. My dream is to get into submarine school. You must love the Navy. It's my whole life, ma'am. Yeah, her rescuer was a real man's man. But her libido didn't respond as she'd expected. No wonder. After becoming a lesbian zombie, men didn't have the same appeal. The helicopter cable came back down. Slide into the water, I'll catch you. Moments later, she was strapped to his body and they were hoisted up together. The wrecked wing below got smaller and smaller, and the downdraft from the rotors intensified. Within seconds, her bare feet set down on the floor inside the helicopter. Donna was sitting on a seat with a blanket wrapped around her. The men unstrapped Carrie, draped a similar blanket around her, and she sat next to Donna. I'm glad we found each other. Me too. Frank got out of his wetsuit and put on his flight gear. Settle in, ladies. It's a quick hop to our ship, the USS Karmic. As the helicopter banked away, the wing sank below the choppy surface of the Aegean Sea.
Looks like the rendezvous with Admiral Kincaid landed in the drink. And how about that Betsy girl? I'm amazed at the power of the lesbian zombie virus, but I don't need convincing. Mommy Jill does. You gotta come back for episode 12. It's Donna and Carrie's homecoming, and Jill gets a lesson in playing submarine in the pool. But it's not all fun and games. Ask General Taylor and Senator Hoffman.